I usually encourage my students to ask for help from their seatmates or from their friends during an exam. Many persons will find this unethical that one who is a teacher will encourage his students to ask for help from their classmates. Many people are not aware of the contrast between the school system and the real world. See, there are many things we learn in the schools that are not applicable in the real life situation. And many of these things we learn in the school are not taught directly as subjects. They are taught as systems, as do's and don'ts. And we carry these limiting beliefs, in most cases, into the real society. There are two types of tests I give my students that depict how the real world situation occurs. Some tests, I'll call it competitive tests, and other tests, I'll call it collaborative tests. What do we do in the competitive test? In the competitive test, I make sure that every student does his or her work on their own. So when I give that test, I am more strict, so I don't allow them to discuss. Okay? But when I give a collaborative test, I tell them that in this test, you are free to ask questions from your friends. You are free to ask for help, but you should have at least studied so that when your friend asks you for help, you should be able to give them a helping hand. And most students come up with ideas that will help them do better. So in those collaborative tests, if there are, let's say, 5 topics or 6 topics to be covered in the test, two friends can have an agreement. You are going to read this topic, I am going to read this topic, and at the end of the day, we come together and make it happen. So, or you are going to read all the topics, I'm going to read all the topics, but this is your focus, okay? So you might just read quickly past this set of topics, but focus more on these topics. And at the end of the day, you discover that the performance of the students in those collaborative tests is higher than the competitive test. And secondly, at the end of the test, you discover that the two students are not just better for it in the score, but in their understanding of the topic. There are two things you need in the real life situation. One is being encouraged by the school system. The other is highly discouraged by the school system. For you to succeed in life, you need to compete in the marketplace. And yeah, our educational system encourages competition. So when a student gets into the exam hall, the student is given his seat or her seat and expected to be focused on their exam. And any student who is so focused to be able to get a high score without the help of anybody, that student is termed a brilliant student. But in the real life, those who are aware of their weaknesses and search out those that can do those things so that they can have enough time to do the things they can do or they love to do, in most cases, those are the successful people in the society. So, yeah, the school encourages competition, but on the other hand, the school does not encourage collaboration. And collaboration in the real world is more important than competition. You see, anybody you see in the real world succeeding, if they were in the school environment, they would have been termed that they are doing exam malpractice. Because for you to be successful, all you need to do is focus on what you can do or you love to do and delegate everything else. That's what it is. So there is no success in the real world without collaboration. But does the school encourage collaboration? No, the school does not. Yeah, you might say before the exam, you guys can read together and all that. But what about when you actually need help? So if I make a video like this and I need somebody to do the editing and I don't know how to do the editing, and then I say, oh, I don't know how to do editing, so therefore I'm not going to post this video. Then I have done the one I can do by creating the video, but because I cannot edit, you can't see this video. But if I can't do editing and I send the video to someone who does editing, he does the editing, sends it back to me, and I post it, who will you say posted it? I. But I've, in quotes, done a malpractice to the educational system. So as a student, you should more importantly learn how to collaborate. Collaborate even in the exams. I say so. The educational system might not be happy about it, but you see, the way you do a thing is the way you do everything. If you are not open to collaboration as a student, when you get into the workforce, you'll be more open to competing against your colleague or your colleagues than collaborating with them. And no organization internally grows by competition. It is when teammates collaborate and come up with an idea, come up with a goal, a target, and achieve results at the end of it, then organizations grow. So, how do you collaborate effectively as students? First, you must put in the work yourself. Okay, so collaboration is not a parasitic word. So you are not coming to become a parasite to somebody else. That's not what I'm encouraging. So yeah, Mr. Gbani has said we should collaborate. Therefore, that's the best student in my class. I think I should go sit with him and have nothing to offer to him except sap, sap, sap. No, that's not what I'm saying. If you want to collaborate effectively, the first thing you need to do is work on yourself. Bring something to the table. And then when the other person brings his own quota to the table, then you have a full package. Okay? In the scripture, it said, one shall chase 1,000, two 10,000. That statement is not mathematically correct. Look at it. One person chases 1,000, two is expected to chase 2,000. That's mathematics. But it's trying to show you the effect of collaboration, the compounding effect of working together as a team. So if you want to collaborate, first, as I said, you must work on yourself. And secondly, the second lesson I normally teach my students during those collaborative tests is the final outcome of your result is determined by the kind of friends you choose to keep. So let's say a student has a seatmate who is a parasite, and the student comes up with 60%, and then the other student comes up with nothing. At the end of the day, each person gets 60 over 100. But what if one comes up with 60% and the other one comes up with 40%? They both have 100%. So if you want to enjoy the benefits of collaboration as a student and as an adult in the real world, first you must work on yourself, and also you must take out time to make the right friends, because you cannot go further than the friends you keep. And if your friend is a parasite, is a load on your back, you cannot keep dragging the person along the road to success. So watch the friends you keep. Not everybody in your class should be your friend. Okay? And for you to choose the right friends, you must first determine your goal. This is my goal, this is where I'm going to. Okay, who can go on this journey with me? Okay, Mike can go on this journey with me. Therefore, I sit with Mike, or I go to where Mike goes, or I engage in a conversation that Mike is engaged with, and within a short time, you discover that you people will begin to have an attraction that brings you guys together. Friendship is not forced, but you can position yourself to make the right friends. Every friendship has a point of contact, what brings the friendship together. So if you want to make friends with somebody, you must ask yourself, what is this person interested in? If you have a student in your class who is always going to the library will increase the probability that you guys will become friends, right? Don't be afraid to collaborate, and don't feel guilty when you collaborate in the exam hall. Don't. It's a school system that is making people not to succeed in the real world. If you have anything to say about what you've heard in this video, please leave your comment and I will give a response to it. If you have a contrary view, you can also leave a comment. Probably you're a teacher watching this video or you're a parent watching this video. I'd like to hear what you have to say. If you enjoyed the video, by any means, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, students, or adults who have grown with the competitive mindset without having the balancing effect of collaboration. I'd like you to share it with them, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.